All right, well, thank you everyone for coming back to the final session for today. And our first speaker for this session is Jeremiah Baker. And Jeremiah is a member of the Amrik Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Advisory Committee and man of the Dua and Yurikcha, I did practice this, Ringitjimira Yolngu Nation of the Northern Territory's top end North East Arnhem Land. Designated by birth, Jeremiah is a traditional custodian for his maternal grandmother, Dabarpunyu, and mother, Wangurri tribal groups. He lives a culturally oriented life, completing his cultural obligations to the point that he now provides cultural teaching to the next generation of Yolngu men. Jeremiah has worked in a number of government departments at local and federal level, as well as non-government organisations for over 20 years in the areas of health and environmental health and cultural engagement. So we welcome now Jeremiah Baker speaking on the cultural significance of companion animals to the Yolngu people of North East Arnhem Land.
And I'll just ask you some questions to help you as well. Yeah?
I'm going to do acknowledgement.
Hey?
You're going to do acknowledgement.
Yeah, you'll do acknowledgement. Hi everyone. So we're going to do something a little bit different here. Jeremiah and I weren't able to actually meet up before we got to the presentation, so I've put together the slides, and I'm just going to basically, Jeremiah's got a huge wealth of knowledge and that he's going to share with you today, but I'm just going to help him with, slides that to help spark what he's going to talk about. So just bear with me. I'm Brooke, I'm the CEO with Amrik, and I'll be up talking next, but yeah, I'm just going to help Jeremiah out up here. So I'll pass over to you for your acknowledgement.
Ngurong ngara kajal ter ngara to buko Europan dual gale ngarde munata. Ga jamara kulit nan ngo. Wa nga wartangun mala. Uniwal mergi diak wa nga rom go. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge this part of Mother Earth that we've gathered and her children, the Tio and the custodians and the keepers of the traditional natural laws of this land in the past. Bilingara dal Yolngu, barako perawa ngapoy. Awala inda tubuko Europan balanya na wrong. For I am a Yolngu from North East Arnhem Land, far away from here, and I must acknowledge them truthfully.
So you can see here what's on, and this is the next one. So basically, yeah.
Okay. Earlier today, there was somebody talking about language, communication. Well, as you can see, this is the language map. A lot of you may have seen it. These are nations. But one thing they missed, anthropologists and all these other interpreters, translators, that each of these nations have clan groups within them. So there are other languages within each of these colors. And they are clan groups. So what we have is tribes and then clans within them. And some of them have their own language, and some based on the universal language of each tribal group. Me, I'm up there. And as you can see, it's just yellow, when really there is a lot of Yolngu nation there. 48 different language groups, 27 different dialects. I only speak 4 languages, 12 dialects. Not including English. That's nobody knows English. It's still changing. The thing about the language is people always ask, how come you know a lot of language? Well, the honor always goes back to our Marayan, our Wangurri, our Duyo. These words these days are interpreted as sacred sacred totemic beings, our elders that came from the realms of the dreamtime and morphed into our totems, the creators of our nation, our civilization, the genesis of Yolngu in North East Arnhem Land. So all this talk about now animals, native or introduced, they played a big part before we had our first visitors, long before Makatara, Macassans, before the Naui. I don't know what they call Naui, Englishmen? Yeah, before they came. So we were already set up on how to manage our animals, how to live with them, knowing the seasons, when they thrive, when they become prey, understanding them, the environment. And if we have to look after our totems, you must know what they eat and also look after them. And also, even though it's your totem, you must cater for the prey, the predator of your totem to make that balance. Cats, desexing, well, the system was already there. You just had to learn and live with it. This is one of the things that why us now indigenous people say, connect to country, be one with Mother Earth. It's just your own surrounding. I say Djuŋgaya. Djuŋgaya is something that's missing that I've seen in Western culture. It's always paternal, pass it on from father to son or to daughters where you inherit. But let's just say I inherit something from my father. But what about my father's sister and her children? That is Djuŋgaya, the custodian to your mother's tribe's affairs. You are the carer of their totem, of their country. You have to engage, talk to other tribal groups in consultation. You represent your mother. It is not your paternal children, because it is what we call a mere gratitude for giving birth to you. And we do not get paid for this sort of stuff. My role is the Djuŋgaya for the warruŋ. Warruŋ is originally the dingo, but now it's the normal dog. That's my mother. We don't say pet, and I kept hearing pet ownership. They own us. They do a better job at terraforming the planet or keeping it balanced than we do. And all the stories that I've heard today, now there is help for us Yolngu. And all of you animal lovers are part of indigenous culture. But you have that passion, same passion, that same drive, commitment, equal, maybe more than us. Why do I say that? We had a balanced ecosystem. Everything was just right, the way Mother Nature intended. But then we have foreign animals come in, changes to that cycle of life, creating new mutated diseases that me, as a Djuŋgaya, is powerless to prevent or cure. And this is where you guys come in. This is all about breaking down barriers. I've got nothing to give you to break down your barrier. I am here crying out for help, for my mother. I can speak about my tribes, totems. I have nieces and nephews. I have sisters that have children. They must play a part. Everybody plays a part. In my country, you'll find a lot of overcrowding. Now, overcrowding means a lot of pets. There's kids that will always, but how come I don't get a puppy or a kitten? And then they start their tantrums. This has been happening. So what do you get out of overcrowded houses? 3-bedroom with 30 plus people or more. There's a lot more children. Being brought up, being told that you must start studying your totems. Start with your mother, because there was nobody but you and your mother at first. And why don't we look after our father's side? Well, in our culture, women are up here, men are here. The culture shock that came from the Western side was devastating just in our thoughts, that women had to fight to get up there. Foundation, yeah, for each and every one of us, yeah, male or female, you are being fed by your mum before the bottle. You are sitting amongst women, whether you're male, listening to the first words, learning the language, being groomed before you passed on to uncles and fathers for initiation ceremonies or to become man or woman. It all started with women. That's where the law is. I'm not saying yours is wrong. I'm just saying it worked for us for over 10,000 years, minimum. And that's how it is. It is the way of natural order. Totems played a big part. When I said established our society, everybody always said traditional owner of this land. What makes a traditional owner? What gives us the deed or the recognition for everyone to acknowledge that that's your land? It was our totems. Being a subject matter expert. Know that animal. Know when it's vulnerable. Know when it thrives. What's its environment? Where it's a habitat. Knowing all of that, you become a custodian. There's no such thing as a TO, traditional owner. That's created by dotted lines, government, mining companies. No such thing in our culture. All we are is giving thanks to Mother. The totems, once you get to know your totems, you are the subject matter expert. They say, that's where it thrives, that's its environment, that land is where you belong, not you own. You belong. Now, modern days, problems that stuff up that cycle I was talking about, that good balance that Mother Nature gave us. We are powerless. We need your help. And I'm not asking for shelters because there's no such thing. All these problems you guys are talking about in rural Kasiri, unheard of. That's why we don't call out to good people at Emmerich or you guys. We don't know that it exists. We have no time for anything else to learn or research anything because we're too busy. Since we're two, when we can walk, we have to learn our mother and father's language and their parents. So you have to know 4 languages, 4 ceremonial tribes' customs, corroboree, song lines, painting. That's 4 different tribes. Why? Because all 4 of them played a part in creating you. If you only know half of that, you only know half of yourself. No time for improving our English education. I only did 3 weeks of year 8, never seen the inside of a year 9 classroom. But that doesn't, no, but I learned everything on my own, from movies, talking to people, and learned to read later. I guess I'm just one of those people where when I see an opportunity, a big giant bear crushing you ain't got nothing on me grabbing an opportunity. And I guess that helped me out a lot. The really scary thing is that's going around in Arnhem Land is this new blood-borne virus. It's a really hard word. Ehrlichiosis, very scary. We've seen what it can do. Pictures you guys were showing, the cat with the needle. I had to go out a couple of times to look down on the floor. All our animals that come back from the realms of the dreamtime are our descendants, our ancestors. Once they all wiped out, they won't come back to us. They're not there. They are also our spiritual guides back when we're gone, to escort us back into the realms of the dreamtime, so we may repeat that process, the next generation. Once they're gone, it's like somebody passing away. And you all know, in our culture, we don't say the name. If it's extinct, we are not allowed to say it. When you say, you can rest in peace, but then you bring out his name again, and where's that peace? Bang. Actually say what you mean. In Yolngu, you don't waste your time saying anything just to entertain anyone. Don't waste your breath on loose words or meaning. Mean what you say. Choose your words carefully. Tara, once they're gone, it's just like a funeral. You don't mention their name. They're gone forever. We cannot perform the ceremony. I won't do the warruŋ dance. I won't do the kangaroo if that's gone, because we are saying a dead person's name. When we dance, that all is a part of a process. Our paintings, a lot of people told you it was art. You were misinformed. That's the oldest form of writing in this country, which requires the oldest form of reading, that none of us have any idea of how to do that. Example, art of your totems being bought by art collectors, presented down here for you guys in galleries. What's the story? So they go back to us, we'll give you $1,000, write down the story. We can't do that. We need the whole population to do that. I can write down what the symbols are, and then those guys are happy and say, oh, thank you. Then they go and say, oh, what a score, and I walk away. But really, the way we read that, every painting, it's hard for those experts, with the Sumerian text and all those Egyptian hieroglyphs. They got no chance of reading these. 3 stages to cipher only the message. It has to be looked at, explained in a philosophy style of language that isn't used today to the singer. Singer sings it. The dancers reenact it because it was true. But once it's wiped out, we can't, because these kids that are listening, that are part of that dancing, singing, this is the whole community, whole region coming in to read a document. It's not just an important person reading it out. Believe me, because I'm the Prime Minister or something, or you'll go jail. We all read it together. We all dance it. We all sing it. That's the only way to tell you the story of our paintings. So in your art gallery, you'll have dancers, singers, everything in the painting up there, and then somebody interpreting the story. These are journeys, documentation of past, how we found things, how many died before you realize it is poison. And then in a lot of the storylines, you will show that it was our totems that led the way, that showed us what's right or what's wrong. The problem back home is so much that we treat our dogs with respect, so much respect, we keep them indoors. No chance to run around. We feed them very good food that's for us. Most of it's poison, chocolate, and all this sort of stuff. We're not going to give them dog food. We're going to give them what I eat. This is the education we need from you guys. The best way, I believe, back home, is none of the stuff that you're all asking for. Just educate us, what do you call, pet owners, how to hear the voice of our pets, understand them. That's all we want. It's a modern problem. We need modern solution. And all in language. Just like they did now in Latina. You know that story. Got another one, the doctor said, if our totems die, we die. People do die. And after hearing all your stories, we all won on this Mother Earth. There's no different culture, nothing, because we all here are ceremonial people that respects totems, cultures. What did they play for you? Comfort, no, family, companion. For us, it established our foundation, our civilization. What did we do ever to pay you gratitude? Couldn't even come close. You have to learn how to read Mother Earth, talk to her. They do it on a daily basis. Mother Earth needs them more than us. So we're nothing without them. The commitment, everything that you have, the love for our animals, double it. Otherwise, we're going to go to other planets and try and terraform that. And where are we going to learn those skills? It is with our totems. Preservation, one with Mother Earth. Yo, of course, number one for all of us, really. Well, protection. Protection from what? You guys know that we have all kinds of beliefs. You can be sung, or you can, the witch doctor can get you. What's a witch doctor? Is it putting a curse on you? No, that's just too much movies and stuff. Our witch doctors actually get bones, cracked bones of kangaroos, dip it in snake venom, and all they have to do is just stab you. This happens still today. But there's no way of proving it to get them locked up. No witnesses. It has happened. People have seen them do it. Bad stuff. Guess who came to the rescue? The ones that would, that love that you can't describe unless it's mother and child. Unconditional, is that word? No matter how many times you tell them off, being about something silly, smack them in the head sometimes, that is what you guys call discipline or training. You do that back home, you'll be chased by a spear all the way to the airport. But when you go there, it looks like we don't care. Look at that. How can you treat your dogs like that? The cat. By the way, the cat is Ngarako totem. Why is it a totem? You might have thought that it's not indigenous. Well, they were here before the colonizers, off the Macassan boats. And we've seen the devastation of what it did to Mother Earth. Therefore, it demanded attention, respect. So now it's in our songlines. 500, 600 years later, colonial time. To this day, there's no better security. You don't need to recharge it. You don't need to pay it. You don't need to do nothing. All you got to do is cuddle and roll around with it. And they come and at the same time knowing that that's all my mother's Ngawe ancestors. So they are family. It'll be good if when you have discussions with me, don't say Pep. That's my bub. Yeah, it's a family member. That way you're one step closer to us Indigenous mob. Thank you.